Hey guys, this is T-Mass from 2A Syndicate and SyndicateTrainingAcademy.com, your home for concealed carry training. And today we're going to be viewing the Glock Gen 5 Compact with Zaffiri Precision's IBS system. Okay, so what we're going to talk about today is one of the slides, the complete upper that you can get from Zaffiri Precision. It is one of many different models that you can get, different kind of comps that you can get. This one is the IBS, integrated blowhole system that they have for that. This is a complete upper from Zaffiri. This is around $500. It's a little bit up there for it, but it does come with a totally completed slide. You'll get a guide rod stainless steel if you want to get that as well. One of the things that is also on this Glock is the Timney trigger. We'll talk about that a little bit. It is obviously not on Zaffiri's site, but it's something that was upgraded in this firearm. And also I have the Holosun on here as well. But I have seen countless videos on some things of Zaffiri Precision. Some things are good, some things are bad, some things are so-so. I wanted to let you guys know exactly my thoughts on the integrated blowhole system. Now, I think it's a great system. It ran pretty well. I did have some issues with it. I'll be explaining that in my final thoughts at the end of the video. And what kind of issues that I had with it. They were very minor, but for the most part, I actually was impressed with it. You guys by now know how I feel about compact guns. You know, it's not like I don't like them or I don't shoot well with them or things like that. I have bigger hands. So with my hands being as big as they are, when I get a compact gun, I have issues with getting good purchases on there. The fact that this one does have a magwell on there helps a lot for me to get a purchase on there and be able to actually hold it out and present it and not have any issues. Some of the compacts do come with extended magazines that will help get purchases on there as well. But for me, because they're so small, obviously that's why they're called compacts, is where I have issues. So I just kind of veer away from that. I like carrying full size. I'll always be that way. It'll never change unless they make a compact slide with a full size grip on there. So with that being said, guys, let's get to the video and I'll be back with my final thoughts. It's got the integrated blowhole system in it. It is a comp barrel, and as you can see, it's comp there. That barrel's comp. The slide's cut out for it. It is by Zaffiri Precision. I have the Holosun red dot on it and the Timney trigger that's on it. The trigger's pulling about, I would feel like, 2.5 to 3 pounds. It's a lot lighter. Obviously, it's better than the Glock trigger, but let's run a couple. I just kind of want you guys to see how this thing is reacting with the blowhole system. I have had a couple of little failure to feeds on this one, but let's run it and see how it goes. So a lot of the issues that I was having with the Glock, it seemed that it was more like magazine issues that was causing the failure to feed on that. As you see, I got my speed rack. I've got more issues on the speed rack, my two steels, and then the Star. The Texas Star seemed to go pretty well. With it, I felt like it was more magazine issues because a lot of the magazines that I have for this system are magazines that have the added 3 plus, 4 plus, and 5 plus, and then I have a couple of standards as well. I didn't get any issues on the standard magazines. That's why I'm going to go ahead and chalk that up to it being some of the magazine issues with feeding that through. But I'm going to take a couple more shots and we'll see how it goes. Okay, guys, final thoughts on the Zaffiri Precision's full upper IBS system. Final thoughts was I was impressed. I liked it for a compact gun. It really makes that slide track back and stay on track. It reduces a lot of muzzle rise with the blowhole being on the front of it. Like I said, it's kind of reminiscent of Moonsan Tactical's Genghis Comp. Zaffiri is doing their own model of that as well. Some of the issues that I did run into when I was out there were feeding issues. And at first I thought it might have been the firearm, but it was not the firearm. On a couple of those, I would get to the point where it just wouldn't quite feed all the way in. And part of the issue that I started to notice when it wasn't feeding all the way in is I have 4 different styles of Glock magazines, right? This one is +5, +3, +2, and standard. I started to notice after a while that I was getting a lot of the failure to feeds and the feeding issues when I started going to the +5 and then using the +3 and a couple on the +2s, but not that many. I think I had 1 failure on the +2, but I had none on the standard. And the standard is 15 rounds. And for us in the state of Illinois, that's our carry. We have to carry 15 rounds. No more. You can carry less if you want to, but no more than 15 rounds. Now, with that being said, I had no failures on the standard 15-round mags. The only time I had any failures is when I went to extended magazines. I don't know if that's the spring. I'll have to check those and see where the spring is on that. But for some reason, it just had a hard time kind of pushing that up. And I was getting failures off those. From that being just a minor issue, I never had an issue carrying the standard magazine. So I just kept loading with the standard magazine, never had any problems at all. At that point, I was impressed. Now, where I have some issues with as well is that this complete upper slide on the Zaffiri Precision is $4.99. And that's just like base, but it's complete, it's base. If you can choose between black nitrate all the way up to gold to stainless. You can get a stainless rod as well. You can get the tritium night sights, suppressor height sights on here as well. And that starts to add up the cost. When I started to fill out and tried to go to one if I wanted to Gucci it out, right, and get gold or something on there and a gold plate, I'm looking at upward toward $620 to $650. And for a slide, that's costing more than the firearm. And to me, if you're going to buy a firearm, you want to buy a firearm with as much good things on it as possible. If I have to deck out this whole thing and the firearm is going to cost me, $500 to $600, and then I'm paying another $600 just for the slide alone, that's not worth it budget for me. And that's not saying that I don't have that to spend. It's saying that I don't want to spend that on this. I would get something for 1,200 that's worth 1,200 and would be worth the money for me. And it's completely up to you. Some people are such Glock fans that they love to trick out their Glocks, and I'm glad that Glock's got that platform that you could do that with. But some of these guys need to really bring some of the prices down because the prices are really, really high. They even have a spot on there if you wanted to order a red dot, you can order a red dot too. And after the 600 and me putting a $300 red dot on there, I'm looking at $900 now just for the upper. And I just already bought a Glock 19 compact for, you know, 600 to 700. Now I'm spending 900 just on an upper just to have it to have the blowhole system or be compensated at the end of it. So to me, you know, that's up to you guys, however you would like to do that. I just have an issue with that because I start to feel like, you know, we as the 2A community, as gun owners, sometimes start to get nickel and dime when you're looking at some of these outside companies. But without further ado, if that's the money you want to spend and you love Glock that much, do you. It's totally okay. I was impressed with how it ran. I just wish that Glock would make options for people who actually like Glocks to be able to do that without being taken to the bank by some of these aftermarket companies on that. So without further ado, guys, that is my wrap on the Glock compact Zaffiri upper with the IBS system. It was a great system. It ran great. I enjoyed it. Always hit that like and subscribe, guys. And remember, as always, train hard, train often. We'll see you next time.